all the way up at the last moment there. So, phew.
Oh, this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I really think this is going to be a great clan war. Even though mYi start 1-0 up here, I think mYiNsanity definitely can bring that back to equals. And once it's brought back to even, I reckon we can go and continue on. So this is 1-0 for mYinsanity as we jump on into Heavy Rain at our first map of potentially six complete maps today, and hopefully momentarily we'll actually get the game completely loaded.
Oh god.
Surely it cannot take much longer. There we go.
There
Finally, we are here in game. Phew.
So spawning up in the top left hand corner, boys and girls, we do have the one and only Protoss playing for Team RuW. It is MetHiX. And spawning down the bottom right hand corner, playing for Team mYinsanity. It is the purple Zerg player, Zervas.
Indeed. So good luck, have fun. Being sent out here again. mYiNsanity, the Bulgarian player from RuW, someone we don't know too much about. You know, Size, who unfortunately didn't show up. We did know a bit about. You know, No Name. I know a bit about. He was in WCS. Kensho starting to come up on people's radars a little bit more. But mYiNsanity, someone we really just don't know too much about. He's from Bulgaria, but that's all we know, and he plays Protoss. So
Yeah, we absolutely know nothing about him. So that could actually be quite a good thing, because it may catch the mYinsanity player off guard, because obviously he's not known. So we could bring out the strategy that he really doesn't expect. We really don't know what's going to be happening, but we do see the pylon on the high ground, which points to a gateway expand coming out. So usually this means for the Zerg player that he's not going to go for a simple greedy free hatch. He's going to have to stand around 2 hatcheries, take an early gas, and make sure he gets that speed out.
yeah, he's we'll see if he wants to go hatch first or pool first here. See how greedy he's feeling. Looks like he's going to go hatch first, or just a later pool. Yeah, it looks as though it will be hatch first. Sending that first drone down there now, so that's okay. Not too much of an issue. mYiNsanity just going for this gate expand here. And things just starting off fairly normally for either side. We're not going to see any cannon rushes. We're not going to see this game ending stupidly early. So that's a good start, considering we've just waited so long to get into this.
Yeah, that's definitely true. The first gas now is finishing up for our Protoss player, but with the hatch first, that is pretty greedy, especially seeing no strout. Usually the Protoss would be strouting off their pylon if he was going forge faster spawn, and that is usually the big tell for the Zerg player. Funnily enough, he is only actually going to have a drone strout here. Yeah, by the looks of it he is. Even though this Overlord will come into position and we'll be able to tell him exactly what is happening. So this looks like it may just be a simple Mothership Core 1 Greater Expand, popularised by the one and only player Naniwa. And this looks like, this is actually going to be free hatch before pool. Oh, this is super greedy.
This is actually kind of good, though. Well, it depends, because if mYiNsanity doesn't realise what's going on, if he doesn't punish this, I mean, we've even got gas coming up, if he does not punish this, then Zervas comes into this fantastic position here. But if mYiNsanity realises what's going on, goes for some kind of, like, say, 4-gate, for example, or something, just like 4-gate follow-up to an expand, then he's going to have a fantastic day against Zervas, because Zervas just probably won't be able to get the units out and to hold his hatchery. So it's kind of tough to say exactly what's going to happen right now. We see that expansion coming down for mYiNsanity, and it all comes down to how well he can scout with that probe, which is now heading across the map through the middle. So
yeah, definitely if he does see this this free hatch before a pool, I think he will put on a lot of aggression, probably with that Mothership Core first of all, and then going into maybe like a 4-gate aggression. He's definitely going to need to do something.
Oh, look at this. He's actually heading straight over there. So the thing is, with the timing of this third base, he's going to know 100% it's free hatch before pool as he comes in there and scouts it. And he just knows, you know, that fast third base is only free hatch before pool. So now he can react however he wants. He's got his Zealot popping out of his gateway. He's got his Mothership Core out as well. And we'll see if he adds on 3 gateways, because his Warp Gate tech is halfway done. And he does have quite a few minerals banked up here. He could definitely go for this if he wants to. So this is our kind of moment of truth. There's 2 gateways, and there's the 4th. Wow.
So there only is 2 things that MetHiX should really do at this point in time. He cannot let the Zerg player get away from this. So he either has to be really aggressive or extremely greedy. It's one or the other.
Exactly, and he is choosing to be aggressive, because if he was going to be greedy, he would have put down 2 gateways at the front here and a Stargate, or just something to start teching with, unless he's going to expand off of mass gateway units, which doesn't generally work out so well. Mothership Core Zealot moving out on the map. We already have a pylon up in the middle there as well, but the probe is being hunted down by some Zerglings at that third base. So, you know, Zervas, the one thing he's got going for him is at least he's going to have speed. at some point in the fairly near future, which will help a lot in terms of defending. But at the end of the day, this pylon's still going to go up, and
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of zealots starting to warp in here very soon. This pylon, the position of this pylon is actually really hard for it to be picked off by mYinsanity and by Zervas, and it's going to allow him to warp in on the low ground. So Gateway is already trying to keep the probe alive, gets the pylon down. And even if the probe dies now, I mean, that pylon's relatively close.
Oh, but with that speed finishing, he may just be able to kill that pylon. He has to try and get a surround on the Zealot. It looks like he has to be able to kill that Zealot off, but more Zealots have been warped in on the low ground, as you said, worried about that sexy pylon placement. But that pylon is cancelled.
This is actually kind of bad now for mYinsanity. I don't think he can take down this third base anymore. More Lings on the way. Roach is on the way too, and I mean, he can warp in some more Zealots, but they take so long to get here now. He's not sending out another probe, and you can see already back at home, RuW facility coming up, but this is pretty much a failed attempt at aggression so far for our Protoss player from RuW.
Yeah, definitely with that there. Oh my god, them Zealots are just ripping through them Lings with that Mothership Core's help. Oh my god, that is...
It's a little bit
insane.
disgusting how much damage Zealots do. Interestingly, Zervas, he did start Roachron a little while ago, but he hasn't opted to actually use that yet. And I mean, even here, this Queen is going to go down, and these Lings still aren't enough. More Lings popping out, but 4 Zealots are still so strong, and 4 more Zealots coming in because mYinsanity realizes the kind of opportunity he has here to keep this aggression going. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Gets into the nice little corner there with these Zealots, and them Lings just cannot attack in that position. And more Lings coming out, but upgrades are very late from Zervas as well. And the positioning here for mYinsanity is so good, and interestingly, not really doing anything back at home. Chrono Boost now an Immortal, so he's going to go for an Immortal all in to follow this up, and I like that with the amount of Zerglings he's forced.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's a smart idea, but if the Zerg player continues to be able to drone, and while these Roach upgrade or the melee upgrades, if they complete just in time, there was a Roach born down when you were saying, right?
Well, there was. He started one, but he actually cancelled it. So
Okay.
that's probably why he didn't make any roaches at all. And I didn't actually have time to check before now, but yeah, he did cancel that. So he's playing pure Ling, and you can see he wants to go kind of double Ling upgrades.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen. Like,
No.
I mean, he's got. Ooh, he should have thrown down another force field there. He could have trapped so many Zerglings, but yeah, I mean, yeah, his second evolution chamber is so late. So I mean, +1's kind of at an okayish time here, but +2. And +1 Carapace just isn't even seen. And Zervas now sees that this is an Immortal all-in. And, I mean, the extra gateways should come down any second now. And we're going to see more and more units come out. We actually have 3 Immortals lined up from this RuW. So he cancels one and starts up World Prism as well. So this attack's coming soon. I don't know if Zervas is going to be able to hold on.
Yeah, he has only added another 3 gateways down to this. But pure Ling, if more, definitely with good force fields and with a little bit more of Zealots warped in, I definitely do not see anything that the Zerg player can do. You need at least some sort of Roach-based army or composition at that point in time when this hits.
He's making a Roach run now, so he's going to have some Roaches, but I mean, he'll probably... I mean, +1 Carapace might be just about finishing during one of these fights.
Yeah.
It's going to be very close. The Warp Prism on the way, these Immortals are out, and they're going to start moving across. Some sentries warping in to kind of come in as backup, and we're going to see Zervas going for a large counterattack with these Lings here initially, and this kind of counterattack is one thing he can try and do to try and pull his opponent back just a little bit and, force some units at home. Without a cannon behind this wall, there's not much you can do. Chrono boosting these gates to get some more sentries out here, probably.
Oh.
And they're going to have to wall in. Wow, this is a nice counterattack.
That nearly worked out. He may be able to break free here back at home, but first of all, he is pushing with this army.
Yeah, the thing is for Zervas, these force fields are brilliant from mYinsanity, by the way.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's got so much army over there that right now there's nothing to contest this Protoss army. And I mean, yes, there's a bunch of Lings, but these Zealots in the front will just rip them to shreds, and the extra sentries count joining up and trying to get a Queen. A couple of Spine Crawlers are finishing. If he holds here, it's going to be very, very close. Pylon allowing the Zealots to warp in to help out, and, well, here we go. Lings coming in. Force fields aren't really the best. The Lings get a really good surround.
I don't know if it's going to be enough, but Roaches are coming in behind this, so it looks like he will be able to kill the rest of this army. The Lings are just destroying these Immortals, but a recall has been activated. He is going to get out of there. And I don't know what the Protoss players going to have to do right now at this point. Definitely will losing one of the gateways there. He may be down a little bit in production, but he has the minerals right now to be able to throw down a fair base, and I definitely feel like he needs to do that right now.
The problem is, like, this heavy Ling style, I mean, you just had so many Zerglings, and the force fields weren't perfect. If the force fields were better, that surround never happens, and that army becomes so much more effective, and the Lings become so much more useless. And as it stands right now, we've got mYi's realizing he can't really just keep this aggression up. He has to just fall back. He's going to try and take a third base here. He's got a Forge about to finish up as well at his fronts that he's going to try and start going into upgrades. But Infestation Pit on the way down for Zervas probably just go straight into a Hive and straight into Ultralisks. Alternatively, he could just switch things up and start going into Swarm Host, which might be a better idea. Considering the heavy immortal account already out for mYi's, but he is going into that Hive. And, the melee upgrades are there to go into them Ultralisks if he wants them.
The Protoss player is going to push out yet again. Oh my god, and the Zerg player is just going to try and chase after this army. He is not living this down, but remember there is Hager that's back at home for our Zerg player, so that might be enough to actually hold this, especially with his Spains and all coming as well.
Yeah, well, he's actually in the main base right here as Zerg, well, into the natural at least, and now a few units are going to get into the main base. So Sentry comes down, but it's not enough. He's losing all of his probes and his natural, and this is really, really bad here for mYi's. There's a lot of damage being done by Zervas, and I mean, he's got this one opportunity now to push in with his army, and it's basically, he's just base trading at this point, so he's going to keep pushing forward. He's got a few minerals, so as long as he can use some of them before his gateways go down. I mean, he's got the better army at his opponent's base right now, so he could do some serious damage.
This is just going to turn into a base jet scenario. Right now the Protoss player has to absolutely do his best, but drones are going to be pulled. Force fields are absolutely amazing. They're going to be able to hold the units back, but I don't think it's going to be enough. These lanes will be able to go in here.
It's still going to be really tough. I mean, there's so many lings about to come in when these force fields expire, and I mean, this Protoss army was doing a good job, but now it's just not enough at all, and you can see everything's going down. GG is called, and Zervas puts RuW